So I think it might be time to admit the Pistons just might be the best team in the Eastern Conference. I'm pretty surprised to say it, but looking at the way things are going, they've now won 12 games in a row. They seem to have unexpected players popping up and contributing on a night-to-night basis. Jalen Duren has taken a huge leap. Jaden Ivey's now back healthy, which I think is going to help as well with their guard depth. This team is really good. Plain and simple. They're really, really, really good. And obviously, I haven't even mentioned Cade Cunningham, who had 29 points, 10 assists, 8 rebounds, officially, again, has just played out of his mind this year. This team is freaking awesome. I mean, they really are. And Jalen Duren might win Most Improved Player this year. I wouldn't be surprised if he does. The leap he has taken offensively is so impressive with his... He's just such a skilled player with his different... The versatility he provides as a freak athlete, extremely strong, extremely physical, rim running type big, who's a great alley-oop guy, but also can catch the ball, can play make pretty well, doesn't make a ton of mistakes. He's gotten a lot better about not dropping the ball when he catches it like he used to. He can even do some off the dribble stuff, which I honestly did not expect and see coming from him. I have just been so impressed with him this year and with this entire team and their overall development. It is truly remarkable how good and how well-rounded they are, and they have the flexibility, in all honesty, to get even better. It's not like their salary cap is extremely constrained. They have all their picks. Like, they're in a really, really, really good spot, and they have a lot of flexibility going towards the future, while also having a young core that is absolutely ready to compete in, again, what is, we know, not the most elite Eastern Conference. When you look at the standings, after a good start, the Bucks have cooled off big time. That might be a video I needed to make soon, talking about the Bucks, because Giannis is going to want out. I kind of foresee that coming. The Celtics aren't great. The Bulls have cooled off after a hot start. The Magic have found their groove for sure, but I'm not 100% sold still on them. The Hawks have played great without Trey, but again, we'll see. The Sixers are consistently good. The Knicks are consistently good. The Heat have transformed themselves offensively, which is impressive. The Cavs are good. The Raptors have been awesome. Like, there are some good teams in the East. Surprisingly, there are more good teams in the East than I honestly expected there would be so far this year. I'd say your top 8 looks like it probably is a pretty accurate top 8 of the Eastern Conference right now, but the fact that the Pistons are at the top is pretty shocking, but I'm honestly not sure that it should be. We've seen the last few years with a lot of teams, the Thunder, the Knicks, the Mavs, and other teams obviously throughout the league, that having an elite level primary ball handler point guard is extremely conducive to winning basketball. And the Pistons absolutely have that, despite Cade's inefficiency shooting the 3 this year, which is somewhere that you hope will improve. He was 3 for 6 today. Obviously room for improvement compared to last year where he was a 35% three-point shooter. Despite that, 27 points, 10 assists, only 3.6 turnovers a game. The assist turnover stuff is way better than it used to be for him. He impacts the game defensively and on the glass. I think he's one of the more underrated guard defenders in the league, and at his size, being a legit 6'6", 6'7", there is a lot of versatility that he provides defensively. Tobias Harris has also not shot the 3-ball well at all and has missed some games also, but him being back and likely to improve as a shooter, I think can only help this team having that veteran presence. Duncan may not be the best defender in the world, but he's an elite level shooter. 42% from 3 provides a lot of the much needed spacing that this team does admittedly need with a non-shooting center, at least right now, in Jalen Duren. The struggles of Cade and Tobias shooting the ball so far this year, and obviously the concern of Asar Thompson, Ron Holland, guys like that who I'm not sold on as 3-point shooters at this point in their careers. But both of them have been extremely impactful in other ways. They compete their butts off defensively, extremely athletic, extremely versatile, provide that rim pressure and aggression as well on the offensive end of the court, especially Asar has had a really solid year. Ron Holland, I'm going to need to see more, to be totally honest. I'm not 100% sure that I'm convinced he's going to have a massive role in this rotation as the season progresses, especially if they are to stay healthy, because of guys like Dennis Jenkins, who has taken a massive, not just step forward, but has just emerged out of nowhere. A guy that I have no shame in admitting, before this year, I don't think I knew who Dennis Jenkins was. Honest truth, I don't know if I'd ever heard that name. And he's averaging 12 points a game, shooting 45% from 3. Now, with Jaden Ivey returning, obviously that takes away a certain amount of role from him. But that's a guy who's 6'4", competes his butt off defensively, and has shown some real off-the-dribble stuff as well. 4.4 assists to 1.6 turnovers a game. He was averaging like 20 and 9 in the starting lineup for the Pistons. has been freaking awesome so far this year. Isaiah Stewart's shooting a 39% from 3 and 55, almost 56% from 2. He's been super duper solid as well, averaging 11 and 6. This team is so freaking good. You have likely the most improved player in Jalen Duren. You have one of the best point guards in the league in Cade Cunningham, who I think is due for positive regression in terms of his efficiency. Same thing can be said for Tobias Harris, not in the elite level, but in terms of the likely positive regression coming for him. They still have the roster flexibility to make more moves if they want to. I wouldn't be completely shocked if Malik Beasley winds up getting signed at some point in this team. He was huge for them last season, and could likely come in and fill some of that wing role, some of those minutes that maybe they may not totally trust Ron Holland for as we get later in the season and obviously into the playoffs. But the depth of this team is surprising. And then again, you don't see Jaden Ivey's name on this list because these stats aren't updated with today's stats, but plays his first game of the season today. In 15 minutes, he's 10 points, 4 of 6 from the field, 1 of 3 from 3, a +4, contributing and competing himself. Will he wind up as a starter this year? I really don't know, but I can say with confidence that last year prior to getting injured, he played freaking great. Had made a real jump offensively, 46% from the field, over 40% from 3 on 5 attempts a game. Has been really, really, really good, was really, really good for this Pistons team last year. And I'm hopeful that he can kind of replicate that role this season. Potentially, we'll see. It might be more of a bench role for him. I don't know. But if he can shoot anything in the ballpark of 40% from 3 with his athleticism and aggression, I think he provides that backup guard role that I think this team could really use. I haven't even mentioned Marcus Sasser, who has provided this team with good positive minutes in the past and may potentially get an opportunity to do so later this year as well. Karis LeVert, Javonte Green, guys who have been around the league for a long time and know how to play a role at a quality level as well. There's just a lot of names on this team of guys that I feel like you can trust in certain capacities, and they feel like a team that is really well positioned to be a very good regular season team because of the amount of depth they have in terms of guys who have been around and know what they're doing. Now, at the end of the day, do we really want Javonte Green, Karis LeVert, Ron Holland, guys like that? Again, Ron Holland's a maybe, but are we sure those guys are playoff minute players? I'm not 100% sure of that. At the same time, there's a lot to like about the depth of this team. They seem well positioned to deal with injuries this year. I mean, they won a bunch of games that Cade missed earlier this season. Like, they have been really phenomenal, and the numbers don't lie. At the end of the day, you win 12 games in a row. That's impressive in of itself, but they have the 4th best net rating in basketball behind only the, in my opinion, 3 best teams in the league, Thunder, Nuggets, and Rockets. Best net rating in the Eastern Conference by not a huge margin, but by a bit over the Raptors, and then a pretty big margin over the rest of the East. Offensively, they haven't been jump off the page great, and I think as their efficiency improves and as they continue to get healthier, they may improve a bit offensively. They're 13th ranked offense in basketball, but they're the 2nd ranked defense in all of basketball. And I mean, we can kind of ignore the Thunder because the Thunder are otherworldly. Besides that team, they're the best defense in the league so far this season. They really feel like a well-coached, competitive band of brothers, in all honesty. The vibes are high in Detroit right now, and it really is remarkable to think that 2 years ago this team lost how many games in a row? I think they started 3-38 or something like that. I forget exactly how many games they lost in a row, but it was a lot. A lot can change in a short amount of time, and that is absolutely happening in Detroit. And I see reason to believe it can continue because, again, there is room for positive regression offensively for some of their main guys. This is a really good team that seems very well positioned to be one of the best teams in the East and a serious threat in the playoffs this year. You should not overlook the Pistons at all, not only as like really good regular season team, but maybe they're a playoff contender, like in terms of making a deep run and having a chance to win the East. Right now, they look like the best team in the Eastern Conference. No doubt about it. Impressive win over the Bucks today. They deserve a lot of credit for how well they've played. To be fair, no Giannis in today's game against the Bucks. I didn't even mention that. That is fair to mention. It was on the road for the Pistons, but still no Giannis. It takes away from the interest or the intrigue of that win, especially with Giannis obviously having a calf strain right now. And the Bucks are a whole different story. I need to make a video on them soon. Either way, though, Pistons have played great. They deserve a lot of credit, and I wanted to make another video talking about how impressive they have been. I hope you all did enjoy the video. If you did, make sure you hit that like button, leave a comment, and subscribe. I'll be back with more NBA content very, very soon. I appreciate y'all. Peace.